Welcome. Well, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to our midday mindfulness. I actually have on real clothes today. I've been doing a project with myself to get out of yoga clothes and sweatpants at least once a week, and today is one of those days, so yay, I'm in real clothes. You guys get to experience that. And we will take just a moment to get started. I always like to start off with a little virtual energy cleansing. So I'll use my Palo Santos here. Now, using Palo Santos during mindfulness, like traditional mindfulness practice, isn't using like incense and how I draw cards. That's not the traditional mindfulness practice, but I like to incorporate these things, which are part of my yoga practice and just my daily practice, just to kind of help set the tone for me as I start to get mindful. So I'll start off just cleansing myself, and then I will cleanse the energy virtually for all of you. Oh, I didn't mean to switch the camera. But there's my door. There we go. I was trying to wave at the people coming in. Technical difficulties. So we'll virtual energy cleanse all of you. And also, since I'm doing my mindfulness training now, normally in a mindfulness setting, you're not going to be pulling a mantra card. But I just like to pull these cards for myself. And then once we get to the actual breathing techniques, and we'll have some mindful eating today. Once we get to that, that's truly where the mindfulness traditionally will play into. But I love to think of mindfulness in Thich Nhat Hanh's kind of way, where it's part of every single thing you do. So even if these things aren't traditionally considered mindful and they're more kind of like a yogic thing, then that's okay. So I'm doing a little shuffling of our cards today so we can pick a mantra card, and I'll spread those out. And we will go with, ooh, I've never seen this one, so that's cool. It says, I am unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. See if I can get that for you guys. It's really bright in my room today. So that's a really good mantra card to have. Being unapologetic about what you desire, doing it mindfully, of course. Don't push people down to get to the top. And then trust that what you focus on will grow. And especially in a place where we're in quarantine and it's easy to forget about other people as you grow and what you're feeding yourself, what you're watching, what you're doing online during this time, that's all feeding into yourself. So make sure as you grow, you feed yourself good things. You do yoga, you do some meditation, you read a book, you go outside, get a little sun, whatever it may be. And as we move into the actual mindfulness part of our practice, as I mentioned, I started a mindfulness training with the Dallas Yoga Center. And as many of you guys know, I don't live in Dallas anymore, but it's really nice to have Zoom, because Zoom is allowing me to do this training virtually. So that's been really cool. Well, that's cool, Josh. That's a good way to allow yourself like a way of release and then still be putting in something good to your body. So we're doing a little mindful eating. So as I do this training with the Dallas Yoga Center, I have mindfulness homework, which I'm incorporating in our mindfulness middays. And we're doing a little mindful eating. So if you have an opportunity right now to grab a snack, please go and do so. And just something small, not like grabbing a bowl of cereal. Grab maybe an almond, or if you have a grape or a piece of fruit. This is normally done with a raisin. I'm actually going to do it with my Sweat CBD Gummies. Thanks, Kelsey. I'm gonna do it with my Sweat CBD Gummies because I could use a little chill, so I'm gonna have a CBD gummy as my snack. And we'll do some mindful eating. So if you don't have a chance to go and grab your snack, no worries. You can rewatch this later and have your snack candy. And I'm using my notes from this weekend to make sure I do this correctly. So we'll start off with our snack. Mine's my little gummy. And you just look at it. So you can just bring it right in front of your eyes, whatever your snack may be, an almond, it could be a piece of candy, it could be fruit of some kind, just one single thing that you can hold in your hand. So I bring this into my hand and I look at my food. And I look at the shape of it. It's the shape of a bear. I look at the color, it's red. The texture, it's got some texture on it because there's like some little sugar crystals on it. And now I'll touch my food. So I know if you have parents like mine, they told you not to play with your food, but you're playing with your food a little bit, but we're doing it in a mindful way. So I'm touching my food and I observe the sensations that come from touching my food. And it's not sticky, but the sugar is getting on my fingertips, which you may be able to see. It's gooey. It's definitely like some texture there. And I just bring awareness to that. Just noticing what comes up as I touch the food. And now I'll smell my food. And I see what comes to mind as I smell this. And it smells like cherry. Yum. That's all I can think of that comes to mind as I mindfully smell my food. And then you bring it, now this is gonna seem silly, you bring it to your ear and you move it around in your hand and you notice what you hear from your food. And you actually can hear something when you move your food around. You can move it around in between the fingers, you can squish it. I can hear like a little squishy sound, kind of like sneakers on a carpet. It's kind of that squeak squeak when I move it. So I just bring awareness to that. And then I'll take a moment just to notice what's going on in my palate as I do this. So as I do this mindful eating exercise, I noticed that as soon as I smelt the food, I was like, I want to eat it. It's time for me to digest this. But we're taking a moment just to be mindful in our eating and just acknowledging different parts of our food. And as we acknowledge this, we may even start to think, where did this come from? And I know where this came from. It came from my friend Kelsey, who gives me all my CBD gummies. And I know that it's homegrown and it's from, California, and it was made locally, and that gives me kind of a sense of happiness and appreciation for what I'm about to consume. And now we'll put the food in our mouth, and this is a hard one to do. So I'll take just a bite, because mine's where I can still have a couple bites. So I'll take a bite. Don't chew, just put it in your mouth. And this is gonna be hard to do and talk. So after you take a bite, notice, what does it taste like? It tastes like cherry. It's getting kind of slimy, kind of that gooey, because it's a gummy. And then I'll chew it. I'll notice the sensation as I chew. Still gooey, kind of that gummy texture. Don't swallow yet. I know it's hard. Take another bite if you can, or you can put the whole thing in your mouth if it's something smaller. And again, go through what you're tasting. And chew. Last bite. Bring that into your mouth. Welcome. If you're joining us, we're doing a mindful eating exercise. So you may not get to completely join us because now we've put the food in our mouth. But definitely rewatch. It's a really fun thing to do. So we're chewing. Notice what we're eating. Notice the texture of the food, the taste that comes up. Sometimes memories come up. For me, gummy bears always reminds me of like high school and college. Used to eat gummy bears like for meals. I used to have this big thing of gummy bears in my house. And it was always filled, like a big jar. And my friends would always come over and eat it. And that's what this reminds me of as I eat it. And just when you want to swallow, chew 5 more times. Now swallow it. And take a moment just to think about your food. You went through this whole process. You observed your food, you looked at it, you touched your food, you noticed the texture of it, and I still have some of the texture on my hands because it had a little sugar on there. You smelled your food, you noticed how it smelled. You put the food up to your ear and you noticed what you heard when you moved it around. And then you put the food in your mouth and you took some time before you completely demolished it to acknowledge the sensations that go along with your food. Not very often do we practice this when we eat. We usually have the TV going, or we have our family around us, or we're just doing it just to mark it off our list. I know I need to eat. Let me mark this off. I got something in. Okay, let me finish this email. So whenever you can, it may not always be this exercise, but whenever you can and you do have an opportunity just to have a small snack, try it mindfully. Try observing it. Think about where it came from. Think about the sensations that it's going to give you, and be mindful in all things. The smaller things like eating, as well as this will just start to go along with you when you're out driving later. You'll be mindful as you drive. You'll notice the cars around you, and if someone cuts you off, it may be a little bit easier not to react. Moving into just a few breathing exercises. Just allow yourself to sit comfortably. You can lay down or you can stand. Allow your eyes to close. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out your mouth. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out your mouth. Last time. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. And I now invite you just to take your inhales and exhales through your nose, drawing closer to your breath. Appreciating your practice and experiencing mindfulness through eating. Appreciating yourself to remain curious, having that beginner's mind. In the middle of our breathing. And then take another deep breath in through the nose. Fully expand your chest with air. Take a moment to think back about your mindful eating. What did you have for your snack and the appreciation you have for it? Exhale. Take another full deep breath in through the nose. Fully expand your chest with air. Going back to your mantra card, remember to being unapologetic about what you desire and to trust that what you focus on will grow. Exhale through the mouth. One last time, deep breath in, combining both of these practices together. And exhale. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And if you have any questions along the way, feel free to reach out. Namaste.